Hi guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today I want to share with you my recent haul and some books I plan on unhauling very soon. Let's first go over my haul. I recently have gotten a few new books that I'm really excited for. You may have previously seen them in other videos, but I want to talk about them some more. So the first book I actually just got today, it was my book of the month for this month, and it's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I really like Schwab's writing, and this book sounded really alluring for book of the month's pick. It really grasped me with three young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. I am super excited to read this. I don't think I'll get to it soon, maybe in July or August, but this is one that I'm excited to read, and it's a thick one, so we'll see how that goes. The next book I got was A Silver Elite by Danny Francis, and I did get the sprayed edges version. I had to jump on this as soon as I saw the sprayed edges, and that book of the month was doing this, and that was way before the controversy around this book, and I don't care. I'm still excited to read it. I would like to, if anything comes of light of this, that will be a bummer, but I don't know. I'm excited to read it. I've heard very mixed things about it, so I'm just going in with an open mind. This Woven Kingdom is one that I'm going to get to the month of June for Wendy's Inspired Reads book club. I'm really excited for this one. The whole series sounds really interesting to me, and it was actually pretty affordable on Amazon when I got it, especially for a hardcover. So I snagged that bad boy right up. My next book was also on sale when I got it on Amazon, and it's the last of the indie copies, and that is Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. When I saw that this was getting picked up by a publisher, there was just something about like, okay, now's the time to buy it while you can get the indie version. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like this, but I had to snag it. It is crazy because the pages are like stark white, and that's how I feel like you can tell it's a little bit more indie published. I love the cover of this. And actually the Tales of Starlight book club, we have decided that we are going to read this in September. Yes. So I already have it. I mean, the newer versions might be a little bit different, but it's kind of like the same thing that happened with me with A Dawn of Onyx, and I have no regrets. I had to jump on the hype of Ashley Flowers' The Missing Half. I am a huge crime junkie, so when I found out that Ashley Flowers was coming out with another book, I had to get it. It's a pretty small book, and I'll be reading it this month for my friend Jessie's book club, Sleep When I'm Dead book club, so it gives me a good excuse to read it now. And, I bought it because I wanted it, and I get to read it right away, so proud of me for at least attempting to try to read a book I just got. And then my last book for my haul portion of this video is like the holy grail of finds, and I'm just beyond stoked. I do have kind of a high expectation of this book, but also I try to go in with an open mind, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited that I got this copy, and that is Shield of Sparrows. Obviously you probably have already heard of this. I've already said that I had it. Do you see the sprayed edges? I was so hyped to get this book, but you may notice that there's a only at Walmart signed edition. I actually pre-ordered this on Amazon and then walked to my local Walmart a couple days later and found the signed edition. So thankfully I had an extra copy I can gift to my friend, but I mean, y'all, the fact that it's such a beautiful edition and my small, local, random Walmart had it just fills me with so much joy. Also, when I tagged the author in the fact that I got a signed copy, she responded and said, like, congrats, I'm so happy for you. And that right there just made me even more obsessed. I've heard a couple of my friends actually like Devney Perry's romance books, and then some of my friends have told me, like, yes, this book is incredible. So I am just so hyped. So I will show you where it's signed. So you have your cover, and then right there, I'm just beyond blessed that I got this, and I'm even kind of like scared to read it because I just don't want to mess with it. I kind of even feel like my grimy hands shouldn't be touching it right now. I just feel unworthy, but I can't wait. And even more bonus is that my friend Jordan, her Patreon, picked this for her book club, and it's Girlies Who Read book club, and they picked this book, so I have to read it this month. Have to. So I'm so excited. Now let's get to my unhaul. A big goal this summer for me is to downsize a lot in multiple ways of my life. If you guys know, I am a lot, and I like things, and I am a collector of things, and it's hard for me to let go of stuff. And I'm at the point, though, where I'm bursting at the seams in pretty much every aspect of my life, so it's time to let go. I will not let go of books unless I've read them, and then even still, I have a hard time letting them go. My bookshelves, though, can no longer hold as many books as I want, and I don't believe in book buying bans. I believe in slowing down book buying and being a little bit more reserved, but I just know that book bans just make me want to buy more books. So with that kind of like concept in mind of just slowing things down and getting rid of at the same capacity, if not more than what I'm bringing in, then it's okay. You know, baby steps. If we can first slow things down, then maybe we can work on contentment in our lives, and then we'll talk about book buying bans. But honestly, I like supporting authors and reading, and I want new releases. And if I end up not liking a book and I have to get rid of it, so be it. I am also very blessed that pretty much the only indie bookstore, which is a half an hour away from me, is a used bookstore, and they take books all the time. I have never been denied books when I have like turned them in to resell. So I'll be taking these into that bookstore in the next couple of weeks, and I then will get store credit, which bonus that I get to use then. However, if you are a friend of mine and you see one of these books that you would like to snag, message me. We could always work something out. I don't have a Pango. I've thought about getting a Pango, but right now it's just easier for me to go to my local used bookstore and swap them out. But if there's anything that you guys see that you would be interested in, you know, don't be afraid to reach out. First book I am unhauling is Daisy Jones and the Six. First off, this just isn't my favorite cover. It has the non-removable sticker. There's also a different version of this cover that I just prefer. However, I DNF'd this book. I am not a celebrity drama and or band drama and the things that like touring and a lot of like bands back when this book is based did, and a lot of the context of that. Without spoiling too much of this book, I'm sure the ending and everything was great, but if I were to give it another shot, I would either watch the Amazon Prime show or I would do the audiobook. But I DNF'd about 30% a while ago, and I have no urge of picking it back up. I know it's a lot of my friends' favorites, but it's just not me, and I'm actually proud of myself for DNFing books because I normally don't. Next is The Night Swim. I recently read this and I enjoyed it. However, you will see a theme here is that I'll get a lot of book of the month books and I'll get thrillers because I love thrillers, but I remember the ending and the chances of me rereading them again are pretty slim. I'll never say never that I won't ever reread them, but I'll probably just listen to an audiobook if I really want to reread it. And unless it's like a 5-star thriller for me, I just need the space on my shelf right now. Next is Dark Corners, which is actually the second book that comes after The Night Swim, but you really don't need to read them in order. I didn't even know that there was an order, and just thankfully I had both of them. So I didn't like Dark Corners as much as I liked The Night Swim, and I would check for triggers for both books. I liked it, just not enough to keep and probably reread anytime soon. Like I said, you will be sensing the theme. The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth was not my favorite of hers. I love the cover. I think it's gorgeous, but like I said, I'll probably just reread the audiobook. I need space on my shelf. All the Dangerous Things. I can't remember a whole lot about this book, but I just remember kind of being disappointed. I feel like I've read another book by the author. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but I can't honestly tell you anything about this book except that I was like kind of disappointed with it. So there's no point in keeping it. Someone else maybe will enjoy it more than me. A book I did enjoy was Listen for the Lie. However, I was told that listening to this book and either tandem reading or just listening is the way to go, and I agree. The audiobook was done really well. It's based on like a podcaster and, you know, stuff like that. So the sound effects were just really cool. I really enjoyed the audiobook. I liked the story. I think I gave this 4 stars. But like I said, I know the ending, and I don't think I'll ever forget the ending. I might forget details that go with it, but I actually remember quite a bit from this one. So I will be happy to pass it along to someone else and be able to get money to buy new books. The next book I am unhauling is A Quiet Life. I read this, I think, pretty relevantly close to when I got it from Book of the Month, which I feel like had to be over a year and a half ago because I read it in the winter. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty interesting. It is contemporary fiction with multiple point of views, and honestly, I really enjoyed the writing, but it wasn't a 5-star. I think it was a 4-star for me. And like I said, I know the ending and how everything comes together, so I don't know if I'll reread it anytime soon. The next book I am unhauling is Kiss Her Once for Me. This is a LGBTQIA plus book, and it was one of my first. And while I liked the concept of it, it is a Christmas story, and I did feel it was a little cheesy. I have a hard time with Christmas, like books, movies, all that. Like, I understand some of them are just going to be cheesy, but this one was based on too much miscommunication for me to like really love. But there were parts that I really liked, and I did really love the characters. Now, because it's a Christmas book and, you know, kind of a little cheesy for me, I'm probably never going to reread it. So I'll pass it along and maybe someone else will love it. So the last book I am unhauling is Darling Girl. This was my first ever Book of the Month book, which has been, I think, a couple years now. I think the only reason I haven't unhauled this yet is because it was my first Book of the Month book. So I felt the need to hold on to it. Based on the name, you can probably tell it's a Peter Pan retelling in like a modern day world. And I love retellings, but I also tend to be a little bit more critical of them. And this one, it just wasn't my favorite. But I think because this was like the start of getting back into my reading era 3 years ago, I think it was like 3 years ago now, I was holding on to it. So while I didn't hate it, I enjoyed it, I am just ready to move on with it. So without going back and having to recount, I will tell you that I ended up hauling 6 books and unhauling 9 books. Now, while those numbers are a little closer than I would like them to be, I will not get rid of books unless I read them, and I have a lot of books to read. So hopefully I can slow down buying new books, but there's so many good new books, so we'll see. But hopefully I can focus on the books I have and read a ton, so then I can potentially unhaul a bunch. Please let me know if you have read any of these and your thoughts on them. How also are you guys doing? Have you been buying a lot of books, unhauling a bunch? Let me know if we're on the same page or if you are doing a little bit better than me. If you made it this far as well, I would appreciate it so much if you could like and subscribe if you haven't already. Lastly, if you've made it this far, if you could leave a box emoji, just because we are packaging things up to ship on out and get out of our houses. I would say trash, but like, no, these books are going to find new homes. I keep telling myself, just because they weren't for me, they're for somebody else. And I'm very thankful that I was able to get some new books as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.